Jewish resistance during the Holocaust. With the advancement of Nazi Germany into much of Europe, numerous underground organizations were formed with the aim of undermining the enemy. All of the occupied countries, and even some others, such as Britain, each had resistance organizations. Within occupied Europe, their work provided the Allies with vital information, but activities also included campaigns of non-cooperation, the sabotage of enemy communications, the assistance of escaped prisoners of war, and the attempt to hide the Jewish people and others from the Nazis' final solution. Soviet resistance. The speed of the German advance left little time for many countries to form an effective underground resistance, and once occupied, the brutality of the invading army discouraged many locals from joining. However, one of the most successful and well-organized movements was known as the Soviet Partisans, which worked against the Nazis on the Eastern Front and counted among their members the future Soviet leader Yuri Andropov. Multiple French resistance groups. The Communists had long been accustomed to working underground and proved to be an effective force when inspired communist resistance to spring up elsewhere. Most notably in France, where the French resistance and the French communist resistance worked against each other, albeit against a common enemy. The Jewish resistance movement. Another resistance fighter in the Eastern arena was Abba Kovner, who worked against the Nazis in what is now Vilna, Lithuania. His group of young Jews tried futilely to get the population of their ghetto to rise up. He and his cohorts escaped Vilna and staged attacks against the Germans until the war's end in 1943. The Jews in Warsaw were able to hold off the Nazis for almost a month in a concerted revolt. However, the Nazis finally overcame the revolt by burning down the entire ghetto. The Germans were merciless in their retaliation to revolt. They tortured and brutally murdered anyone caught associated with the resistance movement. At times, this punishment extended to the person's family as well. Gentiles who aided the Jews in World War II. There were also many Gentiles, later called righteous Gentiles, who desperately tried to save as many Jews as they could from the onslaught. Some have become famous, such as Oskar Schindler, who is most famously known from the movie Schindler's List, but there were many others who were contributed to the cause. Intelligence organizations. In Britain, Churchill was increasingly frustrated by Britain's poor effectiveness at linking up with the continual resistance and formed the Special Operations Executive, especially to improve this situation. In the US, a similar organization was created as the OSS, the Office of Strategic Services, which would later morph into becoming the CIA, which still exists today. Other resistance movements. Other notable resistance movements existed in the Netherlands, Poland, Yugoslavia, Greece, and Norway. Within these countries and others, the resistance cells were often small and disconnected from one another, but worked in a similar way. Operatives, often remarkable by being the most ordinary of people, such as grandmothers and students, risked their lives to disrupt the occupiers, cutting phone lines, spreading publicity, and crucially hiding Jews, protecting many thousands from the Nazi death camps.